everyone, how are you? I hope you're all doing very, very well. I'm doing great. And I'm excited to be here with you today. So, as you know, on Sunday we had a webinar, which was amazing, which was on fire. We had so much fun. So many things came up. There were a couple of amazing breakthroughs during the webinar and then after the webinar. And it was so great that we are going to even have a catch-up call this Sunday to talk about certain things that we didn't have time to cover in the webinar. There was a lot of material that we went through, and we just didn't have time to go through all the questions together. So I gave participants homework to go through alone, and I really want to make sure that they do it. So we're going to have a follow-up call on Sunday where we're going to go through the material that they've done together and to really make sure that everything is set, that everything is clear, and that they're ready to start 2023 in a completely different mindset. Now, as you might know, we talked about decisions, we talked about how to not make decisions, or essentially what is preventing us from making decisions. And then I taught them 10 principles that are kind of essential when thinking about making decisions and to help you really, or to help yourself make decisions in an easier way, because it doesn't have to be difficult. Right? It's not about being difficult. It's really about being confident in yourself. It's about believing in yourself. It's about believing in your goals and just going forward. The sentence that came up for me today as I was creating some content was, instead of spending your time second guessing yourself and second guessing your goals, why don't we spend that time working on believing in ourselves, creating a belief in ourselves and creating the belief in our goals? Imagine how powerful would that be if we were to switch all the time second guessing ourselves and put it towards believing in ourselves and really building that up. Just imagine, just something to think about. All right. So what I wanted to talk to you today is I wanted to share a couple of questions with you, an exercise that I invite you to do that we did on Sunday and that we're going to go through again on this Sunday, to help you get a bit of a different perspective when it comes to what's happening in your career or life at the moment, and how can you change that as you are committing to bigger successes and a better year in 2023. Right? And it's very fascinating. I was doing this exercise now in the coaching conference that I was going to in Arizona. And there were so many things that came up that I was like, what is going on, right? So even me as a coach who has a big understanding of how our mind works, who is constantly working on how to better manage my mind and so forth, even if you are continuously working on that, it is so important to regularly reset our minds, right? Because things that came up, I was like, how is this even possible, right? Because that was another kind of confirmation for me, right? That if we don't regularly work on our mind, so many different beliefs start popping up, so many stories we tell to ourselves. And longer we wait to clean that up, more we start really, truly believing and living those beliefs. And this is something we really want to continuously reflect upon. And the awareness, becoming aware of what's going on in our mind, it truly is the first step. So this is what I want to invite you to think about today. So this is where you're at now. This is where you want to be in the future. Let's imagine 2023. Let's not give it too much of a gap between now and then, all right? What I would like to invite you to sit down today, tomorrow, as soon as possible, take a pen and paper and ask yourself these things. First, what are your current beliefs about yourself? What do you believe it's true when you think about you? Whatever that might mean. Listen, here we don't want to spend too much time overthinking what should I write, what should I not write. The point of this exercise is that you literally sit down and write nonstop. Just write, whatever. It doesn't matter where you put comma, where you put dot, if you're putting bullet points, doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in details that aren't important. Just write. What are your current beliefs in yourself when you think about you? So I believe that I am, I believe that I can, I believe that I cannot. Write it all down. Just write it all down. Then the second thing would be, what are the stories that you keep saying yourself? Now, this can be, for example, certain excuses you keep giving to yourself, certain drama that you keep kind of involving with yourself in your mind, certain stories that repeat and that essentially don't really make you feel good. On the other hand, you can also think about, of course, good stories that do make you feel good. Write them all down. Write those that aren't that good and write those that are good for all of these points. The next thing I want you to reflect upon is when you're thinking these thoughts, essentially beliefs, right? And as you're saying these stories to yourself, what feelings come up for you? So write a feeling for each of those thoughts that you have. So when you say, I am not good in na na na, for example, think about how does this make you feel? Or when you say, I believe that I am na 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 na, how does that make you feel? So every sentence, for each sentence, write the feeling or the emotion that comes up with it. The next thing I would like you to ask yourself is, when I'm feeling that way, how do I act? What do I do? Right? So based on my thought, my feeling, what action am I inspired to take? What am I doing? How am I showing up? What action am I taking? What am I avoiding? Right? Avoiding something is also action, inaction, right? So think about all that comes up for you. How do you show up on a daily, regular basis? And then think about the results you have in your career at the moment, right? We always here in the group refer mostly on the career. So you can think about career or you can think about your life in general, depending on, how you feel it. But what are the results that you're currently creating? And you will see 100% that the results that you're creating in your life relate to beliefs and stories you're saying to yourself. On the other hand, the second part of that exercise is, what do I want to believe? What stories do I want to say to myself? What do I want to feel? How do I want to act? And what results do I want to create? Let's start by that. All right. As you go through this exercise, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to get in touch with me. On the other hand, if you do this exercise and if you want to take this work further forward, join us on Sunday. Comment below or get in touch with me. We're going to go through it all on Sunday together in a nice and safe and comfortable environment. We're going to talk about this. You're going to get the chance to get coached by me. You're going to get the chance to see others getting coached. And there is so much value just by looking others getting coached, because you can always ask yourself, how can I apply this in my life? How is this applicable for me? Okay, let me know how it goes. One more thing, if you want to take this work even further, if you are really committed and determined to taking your career to the next level in 2023, and if you want to have guidance, my spots for career kickoff coaching program with me are open. We're starting in January. We're going to really make sure to set you up for a successful 2023. You're going to have guidance from me. We're going to work one-on-one every week for 3 months. And there is no way you're not going to get to where you want to get. All right. No matter how big of a goal it might seem for you. Get in touch with me. The first step is that we have a free consult call to check if we are really a fit to working together, to get an overview of your situation, where you are, where you want to be. I'm going to explain how would working together look like. And if we agree upon it, we start in January together. Okay, so have a lovely day. Do this exercise. Do it. It's amazing. It's life-changing. It really, really, really is. It's going to give you so much awareness. And remember, awareness is the first step to changing anything in your life. Okay, I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.